I want to talk about the promises that I made, and I know other people in the room made the same promises. We promised never to forget. Framingham State University is a special place. It's a wonderful campus because of the diversity of the students who come here and the faculty who teaches here. And it's the hope that they bring to work every day or to the classroom is what we celebrate. But the truth is, we're entering a time of memory and memorial. It's not a time of celebration. September 20th will find different experiences, but for me, the experience of September 11th, 2001 extended from, obviously, the message of the attack on 9/11 through the president's speech on September 20th, when we were getting ready to go to war.
We have seen it in the courage of passengers who rushed terrorists.
There isn't a day that goes by that I don't remember what happened on that day 20 years ago this coming Saturday. I was with the president. We arrived in Sarasota, Florida on the night of September 10th, 2001. After a remarkable day, September 10th had a ceremony at the Navy Yard about 5 miles from the White House. And it was a beautiful ceremony honoring the relationship between the United States and Australia. We left that event and we piled into Air Force One and we flew to Jacksonville, Florida. And the president went to a school and an auditorium about this size, and he addressed students and teachers and raised the hope that we could get rid of the soft bigotry of low expectation and that we could change the nature of education so that everybody would benefit by it. So after the event in Jacksonville, Florida, we flew across the state of Florida to Sarasota. And we landed at dusk. We dropped our luggage off into the Colony Resort, and then we turned around and went back out and got into the cars that were in the limousines or the motorcade of the president. And we drove over to Tampa, St. Pete, to a restaurant. And the president actually didn't have to perform at any event. He was having dinner with a bunch of friends that his brother, the governor of Florida at the time, Jeb Bush, had put together. And the president stayed out late, something that George W. Bush did not like to do, because he was having a good time. And I remember coming back to the Colony Resort about an hour later than we were scheduled to, and I still had work to do. And the president went up to go to bed, and I went to my office or my hotel room and did some work and got to bed pretty late. I woke up early the next morning, knowing that the president was going to go to an elementary school. After the CIA briefing, we went down and piled into limousines to go over to the Emma E. Booker School. And I remember two people asking a question. One was Karl Rove, the other one was Dan Bartlett. And they said, "Did anybody hear about a plane crash in New York City?" No one responded. We drove over to the Emma E. Booker School, and we went into a classroom that had been converted to a White House command center. And the president went to a secure phone, and he called back to his national security advisor, Dr. Condoleezza Rice. I didn't listen to that conversation, but the president told me later there was nothing dramatic in the conversation. And then I went into the holding room with the president, and I'm standing with the president and the principal of the school at the door to the classroom, but in the holding room where the White House staff is gathered. As the president and the principal are about to go into the classroom, a Navy captain by the name of Deb Lauer, who went on to become an admiral, and she was the acting national security advisor on the trip and the director of the White House Situation Room, said to the president, "Sir, it appears a small twin-engine prop plane has crashed into one of the towers at the World Trade Center in New York City." The president, the principal, and I all had the same reaction. Oh, what a horrible accident. The pilot must have had a heart attack or something. And then the principal opened the door to the classroom, and she and the president went into the classroom. The door shut, and I was still in the holding room. And Captain Lauer came up to me and said, "Sir, it appears it was not a small twin-engine prop plane. It was a commercial jetliner." My mind flashed to the fear that the passengers on the plane must have had. They had to know it wasn't gaining altitude. I don't know why that's where my mind went, but that's where it went. But that was only a nanosecond, because Captain Lauer came up to me and said, "Oh my God, another plane hit the other tower at the World Trade Center." My mind flashed to three initials, UBL, Osama bin Laden. I opened the door to the holding room and I thought about what I would say. As I stepped into the holding room, the teacher, Mrs. Daniels, was conducting a dialogue between the students and the president. "Say good morning to the president." "Good morning, Mr. President." Back and forth they went. And I didn't want to interrupt that dialogue. And then Mrs. Daniels told the students to take out their books. And as the students were reaching under their desks to pull out their books, The Pet Goat, to read with the president, that's when I walked up to the president, who did not see me coming. I came from behind him, and I leaned over and whispered into his right ear, "A second plane hit the second tower. America is under attack."